what things did you notice about yourself that kind of helped you to start realizing that you were autistic?
I think a big one was just social cues. I am very much like the stereotypical autistic in that I do take things at face value, and I am a very serious person. And that's part of my nature. I like serious conversations because I like how they can change the dynamic of a relationship and make it stronger.
Right.
Any kind of relationship, friendship, family, romantic relationship, whatever.
Yeah.
I like that. I think that's awesome. I like learning more about people through serious conversations.
Yep.
I have had people tease me in, you know, just a nice little way, not a bullying way, just like a friendly little teasing way, like, oh, haha, friendly teasing.
Sure.
And I'm like...
Loading. Loading symbol, right. Yeah.
Dot.
Okay.
Like, what do I do here? And so frequently I would just, and my responses were just be confused or get offended because I didn't have the default response that I think most people do of, oh, haha, teasing, haha, I'll tease you back, because I didn't know how to do that.
Okay.
And when I tried, it would go too far.
Sure.
Or it wouldn't go far enough, or it would just be awkward, so I'd just be like...
Yeah, just puzzled. Puzzled and blinking, yeah, exactly.
And my default response was basically, for the longest time, was just take it literally, get offended. And I've managed to change that into mild confusion or a little bit of teasing back, but it's still hard to know how to respond.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So socially, there were some things you noticed, so that's one of them. Were there any other specific ones that you felt like really kind of helped you realize, oh, wait, maybe this is not allistic. Maybe this is not kind of
just an ADHD
neurotypical.
thing?
ADHD or autistic. What are some of the things you noticed about yourself that...
Well, ADHD is obvious with the not being able to focus,
right.
Getting lost in my brain.
Yeah, right.
I swear, Daedalus must have had ADHD because... No.
Right, yeah, it's easy.
Getting overwhelmed by my own thoughts because it's just like standing in a room full of people and they're all shouting and someone's singing Broadway over here. Really badly, and you're trying to pay attention. Here, hang on. I think I described it somewhere, but I don't remember how I described it. But it's like you're standing in a room full of people, right? And they're all talking super loudly all at once. There's like a ton of conversations, and there are like 4 different people trying to have a conversation with you. But you have to pay attention, and then someone calls you, and you have to pay attention to that call, and you have to talk to that person. But you don't want to shout into their ear, and the person is like whispering, and they're having something serious, and you're trying to pay attention. But that's what it feels like trying to pay attention. The person on the call is whoever's talking to me at the moment, and they could be talking about something so serious, and I care about that person. I want to know what they're saying. But over here, there are like 4 different people singing Broadway karaoke. There are people loudly playing games over here. Oof. Someone's playing Megalovania badly on a recorder in that corner.
Wow.
Like,
wow.
Insanely distracting.
Yeah. Okay. And that's something I don't experience.
And I still have that with medication or without. It's great.
Wow. Still. Okay. Wow. That's good to know. I didn't even realize
So when I start talking super fast, my speech is matching my thoughts, which either happens when I'm tired, when you give me a Monster Energy, or when I'm out of meds.
Right. Yeah.
Or just if I'm excited. At which point, heaven help any neurotypical or autistic around me, or even other ADHDers, because holy crap. That happened on the car ride with Stag a couple days ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you guys both started chatting and you started realizing all the ways you were similar, right?
And he liked Gravity Falls, and we're both talking like this, really super fast, about all these amazing things. I'm like this, and I'm sitting in the car seat like this, instead of, like this, or like this, or even just like this. I'm like this.
Yeah. Right, and you guys were just enjoying each other, right?
Yeah,
you're just vibing together.
And my sisters were like, please slow down.
Yeah. You're just vibing together. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's something that doesn't happen in my brain at all.
Stimming constantly.
Right.
I think a lot of things, meditation is often recommended for ADHDers. And I know that's just like calming down, maybe focusing on one thing. You could like play a video game and just focus only on the video game. But we think of it as having absolutely nothing in your brain. And now that I have described what our brains are like all the time, you can see how that would seem almost impossible.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I get a migraine in that kind of a situation in real life. Like when we have a lot of people in our house and they're all talking and there's multiple, even at our dinner table sometimes, you know, there's 8 of us. And so when we have a lot of people talking at the table, my brain is just like, whoa, overload. But that's what your brain is like all the time. Oh my goodness. I can't even imagine. That's got to be exhausting.
It does make my poetry good. I'm very good at stream of consciousness because of how many places it goes at once.
That's a good point. Yeah, and there are advantages,
I wrote a stream of consciousness
yeah.
poem. I could put it on the blog if you want, because I wrote a stream of consciousness poem, and it switches between my brain. Oh my gosh, Hannah's playing Hamilton. This is what... that's what this reminds me of. Oh my gosh, Hamilton, totally at ADHD. I can't focus on my English assignment.
Right, yeah.
Just like,
no, that totally
all
makes
at once.
sense. Yeah, no, and that makes a lot of sense.
Supersonic Roombas.
Yeah, wow.
I've described my conversation
Supersonic
like a
Roombas.
That's how I've described my conversation.
That's great, though. That's exactly.
It's just like ping, 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 ping,
Oh
ping,
my
ping, ping, ping,
goodness.
ping, ping,
Yeah.
ping, 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 ping.
Wow.
Because you know Roombas, they can't go in a straight line. As soon as they bump into something, they're like, whoop.
Right. They have, yeah, they go around it. No, that's a great picture.
My brain's not like, bing. It's like ping, 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 ping.
Wow. Oh my goodness, that's really something. Yeah, I know some of the things we noticed was that and this still happens even when you have medication now, but one of the things we noticed is that when you were in a book, it didn't matter if explosions were happening around you. Like when you were really engaged in reading something, we had to literally go over and like shake you, tap you, like make your eyes look at our eyes and get our like faces here for you to actually recognize we were talking
even
to
then,
you.
It would still be like,
yeah. And
because if you shake me because if I'm too deep in a book, you try to interrupt me while I'm reading like Aragon or Lord of the Rings, it's going to take like a full 30 minutes for me to process what you're saying. Doesn't matter if you have eye contact. That stuff takes focus.
Right, yeah. Once you're in, you're just solid there, right? Yeah, exactly.
Like there are some things I can dip in and out of. If I've read it before or it's like a graphic novel, I can be like, yeah, hang on. All right, what was it you needed? But if it's like Lord of the Rings or if it's a book that I've never read before, I'm so invested, like...
Yeah.
Even when I do like shake myself out of it to go eat or whatever, I'm just like walking around the house like a zombie. Yeah. You have seen that. You've seen that.
No, you are.
Even like, are you okay? And I'm like, oh yeah, I was reading. And my brain's still going over the last like 12 lines of text that I read, how the plot's going.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's going super fast, but when I'm in book mode, it actually slows down.
Yeah, no, it does.
It's the closest I get to quiet brain, which is part of why I like books so much.
Yeah, you know, I don't even blame you. Yeah, like, I mean, why wouldn't you want to do that if you were, oh man,
and
it's so
I mean,
hard.
It's also kind of like drawing because my brain imagines things very vividly, so I can't read like, this is why I don't read Stephen King.
Yeah, oh, that would be hard.
Because my brain, it doesn't matter how good the CGI is.
Too expert. Oh my goodness, that would be hard.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. That's why anxiety is also a problem.
Yeah. I can see that, because your imagination is too good. Oh my goodness.
It's too good.
Yeah.
It's painful. Because it doesn't matter how good the CGI gets, how high definition stuff gets. You could be on one of those like 3D like Spider-Man rides at Disneyland that's supposed to be super engaging. It's not.
Yeah.
Nothing next to Up Here, which makes books amazing.
Yeah,
but it makes anxiety horrible.
Yeah, no, that's because I mean, part of anxiety is not being present in the moment. It's imagining all the things that could be happening. So, oh my goodness, yeah, I could see how that would be really hard.
Like if I'm awake at night and like if like someone says something that could even go a mildly scary direction at night, I'm gone. I'm not sleeping.
Yeah.
Because my brain is too good at that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is real unfortunate.
Yeah.
But it's also unfortunate because I'm always disappointed when I see a movie made off a book character because I imagine them as this beautiful illustration.
Yes. And it never lives up to the expectation.
I see them as a person.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm disappointed, especially if they pick an actor that doesn't seem like super aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah. That's such a nice way to say that they're not cute. I like it. That's good.
I'm really scared to see who they cast as Nico. Not gonna lie, I really wish I could play Nico in the new
Percy Jackson
series because I am Nico. Nico is my spirit animal.
Yes, you like that a lot.